I'm not going to let things go on if they're not correct, right? Okay. So listen, what I'm telling him, I'm telling you, right? You don't mind hearing the...
Yeah.
All right. How are you feeling time in turn? 4 minutes? Yeah. Okay, you're going to have to give that up. You're going to have to give up. How long have you been playing music?
Whole life.
Whole life. So I'm going to assume that by this time, you don't have to count anymore. And quarter note is counting. So stop counting. Don't use anything artificial to get through to the rhythm. That's basically a mechanical process, just counting. Now, what I think, oh man, how am I going to talk about this? All right, it's a problem of listening, and the difference between listening and hearing. All the old guys, when I started out apprenticing, they used to say, hey man, you're not listening, Hal, you're not listening. I said, yeah, but I hear everything, you know. They say, yeah, but you're not listening. And it finally got through to me that they're talking about two different things. Well, hearing is passive, like you're hearing, we're listening, right? Listening is active. Listening is when you pay attention to certain things, whereas hearing, like listening to a record, is coming at you. But when you're listening, it's aggressive, it's something you're doing, and you're pointing your stuff right at it, okay? Now listen to this. Here's what I want you to do. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people who talk about Mike Brecker and his playing, that his two greatest attributes were time and tone. And for many years, I thought they were two separate things. But then I realized they are both two sides of one thing. In other words, if you have to use the sound, the tone of your instrument to keep time. Not any external clock or any mechanical process. So let me show you how this is done. When you play a note, it has a quick swell, and then a decay, and then you have a series of diminishing bass and overtones. You hit to that? Well, let me show it to you. Listen to all what this note goes through. Hear that? Now, I'm going to play the first 5 notes of the C scale, and I'm going to use the sound of the preceding note to decide where I'm going to hit the next note. All right? How could you possibly count that? Impossible. I mean, you have to set the metronome that tuck, 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 you know what I mean? To do it. Okay, check this out. Hear it? Ooh, hear that? There's actually a rhythm in there. That swell is a rhythm. It's an extra rhythm in the note. It has to do with a lot of things that come from early childhood study that we bring into adult musical behavior that were absolutely appropriate when you were a kid. But we made the assumption that they're still pragmatic when we're adults. Well, one of the things is we made the assumption that conditioned to think that playing notes in time and space is a matter of playing a series of attacks, a series of beginnings of notes. The problem is, how long is an attack? It's a nanosecond. It's too short an event for the mind to control. So when I'm talking about listening, I want you to switch your listening from the beginning of the note to the end of the note. Because no one ever seems to talk about this. Playing a note involves two events, starting it and stopping it. But everybody talks about how they start the note. Nobody pays any attention to how they stop it. And both have to be done in time. So I'm going to try to get you, we're going to play it again. I want you to listen to the end of your notes You understand what I'm saying? Switch your point of attention, your listening point of attention off the attack and into how you're ending the notes. Like I'm doing. Hear it? Don't say yes and listen. Don't say yes and let's quite. Not quite? Let's give it a shot. Just see if you can do that. Don't forget, you got years of conditioning thinking in terms of attack. And what that does is make you push too hard. And it doesn't put you right in the cut with us. As a matter of fact, I'll give you an example. I'm going to count on 4 beats, right? And I want both of you to hit one note on the 5th beat, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this one decay and this one decay match. 2 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Match. 3 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swell and decay, simple, basic, match. You dig it? All right, so now you want to try to match your swell and decay to the swell and decay we're doing as well. And then we have what we call a group sound, which is what this is all about, you know. Right? You want to try it again? Sure. Am I laying too much around here?
No.
Of course. So, 1, 2, 1, 2. But you're not paying attention to it now, are you?
Trying to.
Not in the same way,
Yeah.
are you? So think of everything you play as being part of the sax solo. Right? Because it's the only time anybody pays attention to the end of the notes is when they're playing in a group. And once that's gone, all right, want to try that once more?
Yeah.
Much improvement. How did that feel?
Felt better.
More solid, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say something? Can I say something to
Yeah, please.
the bass players that are in the room? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys notice it, but I'm muting all these notes. I'm muting every note to give it that bounce. We're doing a stylistic thing here, the bebop stylistic. So every single note I'm playing, I'm muting with my right hand or my left hand with part of it. So I'm going pa instead of ta 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 ta. If you get wide open, fine, let it rip. But we're getting this nice
The bounce.
kind of bounce, and that's not, you got to stop the note then. So the durations make a big difference in what we're doing between what I'm hearing on that ride cymbal, that's doing the sustaining. I'm not. I'm actually holding the notes a bit, but I'm muting them all.
If you think of the instrument that preceded the acoustic bass is a jet fan, what was it? It was a good luck. And how long was it doing it? It wasn't blah, 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 blah. It was blah, blah, deep, blah, blah, blah. And it gave the music a bounce. That's what we call
That helps.
swinging.
That helps to feel for you too.
Yeah. If it doesn't have that bounce, it's not really swinging. All right, so let's give it a shot.